What's up, y'all? What's the Cosmic Tea? Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, y'all. So, as y'all know, we just had a new moon in Scorpio. Right now, the moon is currently in Sagittarius at 21 degrees, but we are still in the middle of Mercury retrograde. Mercury is currently retrograding in the sign of Scorpio at 25 degrees, and also we got Venus in Scorpio. And Venus in Scorpio, Venus is at the 19th degree of Scorpio. That is a tight conjoint, okay, y'all? Now, if you have planets in the fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus, you may feel this energy the most. And this message may resonate for you the most if you have planets in those four fixed signs. This is a collective reading. Take what resonates. If it resonates, great. But again, if you have planets in those four signs, you may feel this energy the most, and these messages may resonate for you guys the most. First message that came up for y'all was Ace of Swords in reverse. So during this time, you guys are being urged to shut your mouth. Shut your big fat mouth, because you might say something during this time that you may not be able to come back from. You might say some things during this time that you might regret and that you may not be able to come back from. Scorpio is the sign of endings. Scorpio is the sign of losses. And with Mercury being in retrograde, you might come off as being misunderstood. There may be a lot of miscommunication, especially if you have squares to your Mercury. Especially if you have some squares to your Mercury, or even if you have oppositions to your Mercury, you really have to watch what you say during this time. You don't have to, okay? Watch what you say during this time. You also might have a hidden enemy that might be plotting on you, that might be secretly plotting on you behind your back. You're gonna get a whiff of this information. Somebody gonna come spill a tea. When you do find out whoever this enemy is, I think you know who this enemy is. It could be anybody. It could be somebody you work with. It could be your neighbor. It could be your friend. It could be a family member. It could be the person you sleeping with. You might be sleeping with the enemy, honey. However, when you find out that this enemy is about to be exposed, and when you find out that this person is secretly plotting on you behind your back, it is not your job to go and try to tell this person about themselves and chump this person off. Shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. The reason why the universe is allowing you to get this information during that time, get that information during this time, is so that you can plan, prepare, and move in silence. They say move in silence. Scorpio is the sign of secrecy. It is the sign of secrecy for a reason. You need to, before you respond to anything during this time, make sure you go beneath the surface. Okay? Now, if you are in a position of power, if you're in a position of power, be mindful of how you talk to people. Be mindful of what you say to people, because you might say something that you might regret. You might come off as being misunderstood. There may be communications, arguments, bickering, little petty things, because Mercury rules those minute things. So there can be some little, really, really little petty things that can come to the surface that can really irritate you. And you might just say something, and you might say it, and then you can't take it back. So if you know you're in a position of power, because Scorpio rules power. Scorpio Pluto rules power. So if you're in a position of power, make sure you're not trying to take advantage of someone or say the wrong things to someone because you can. However, if you're in a position where somebody has power over you, watch them motherfuckers. Watch them. Watch what you say to them. Watch what you say to them, because see how they embarrass me every time I do a video. They act like this. Watch what you say to them, because again, you may say something that you can't come back from, and you might say something that you might regret. Also, be careful what you post on social media, because it might backfire on you. Be careful what you post on your social media. It may backfire on you, because the third house rules social media. The third house rules podcasts, communication. Mercury is linked to the third house. Watch what you're posting on your social media. If you don't need to post it, don't post it. Think about it first. Triple think about it. Quadruple think about it before you post it. What else can I say? We have the Judgment here is in reverse, and we have the Fool. Some of y'all might be urged to start something new. Not right now, but the beginning of the year, next year. Now, y'all know right now we're currently in a year 9. Next year we're going into year 1. So in a year 1, depending on what birth number you are, especially if you are a birth number 1, you are literally going to go through a rebirth. You're going to go through a regeneration, especially if you are a birth number 1. If you are being urged to take some type of leap or start something new, try not to be too impulsive. The universe is urging you to take a step back and reassess things right now, because there could be some loose ends that you need to tie up. There could be some karma that you need to clear. So let's just say, for example, you want to start a business. You can start that business, but make sure you're completely ready to start that business, because you don't want to do anything to sabotage anything in your year 1, because year 1 is going to be a new beginning for most of y'all. It's going to be a new beginning for y'all. So let's just say, for example, you might have some credit card debt you might have to pay off before you start that business. You might need to get your credit score up. You might need to pay off some people. You might need to get a part-time job. You might need to leave your job. It might be some things, some really important things that you need to. It might be some lessons, some major lessons or karma that you need to clear before you start that business. Let's just say, for example, you want to get into a new relationship, or you want to simply start dating again. Why are you going to go into a new relationship with somebody when you know you're still knocking old dude off? Why? Why are you going into a new relationship with somebody when you still messing with your baby mother, baby father? Why? Resolve unresolved issues, karma. There's a lesson here that you need to learn before you can go on to the next person, before you can go to the next level. Your level up is here, but there's something that you need to learn. So if you're trying to go into a new relationship with somebody, why are you trying to go into a relationship with somebody when you know you're not over your ex, when you know you need to heal, when you know there's some unresolved issues? Maybe you need to move. Maybe you need to get your money up. It's a lot of maybes. I'm just saying, it's a lot of scenarios. But there is some unresolved issues that you need to work out, and some lessons. There is some lessons that you need to learn before the universe can give you this blessing. All right? So that is all that I have. I hope this helped. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Peace and blessings to y'all. All right?